from the director of Time Bandits and Brazil, a new movie full of noise. Flying objects.
Trust me, madam. Your underwear is in good hands. I'm back!
Seafood.
Hello.
Is there a doctor in the fish?
Celebrities.
I'm Baron Munchausen. That sounds nasty. Is it contagious?
Compassion.
The Sultan is going to cut off my head. And?
Travel.
Now you come back here and expect me to follow you to the ends of the earth.
Yes.
All right.
Honor.
Have you any famous last words?
Not yet.
Not yet. Is that famous?
Gravity.
We've been dropped through the center of the world to come out on the other side.
Bull. He was full of it. The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. A true story. We've got the film to prove it.
Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing the 1988 fantasy comedy, The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. This film is directed by Terry Gilliam and stars all-star cast of legendary actors. Uma Thurman's in like one of her first roles in this. Sarah Polley, who would later go on to be in the remake of Dawn of the Dead, is in this. Eric Idle. And it is a fun, rip-roaring adventure. So today we're going to be talking about it. We're talking about the details of what makes the movie a fantastic fantasy film, and how much fun it is to sit and watch it. So join me as we review The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. So, the origins of Baron Munchausen can be traced very far back to the Baroque period of history. Because there was a real figure known as Baron Munchausen, who is a notorious liar in history, coming up with these grandiose claims that weren't real. And someone eventually turned around and actually turned that into a story. Well, years later, it had already been adapted a couple times into like culturally important movies, like German movie. There was a French movie, I believe. But then there was an animated movie. And these were all interesting takes on the character, but when it really came together was in 1988, under the direction of the one and only Terry Gilliam. And it's unofficially known as part of his fantasy trilogy that he did with Time Bandits, Brazil, and Baron Munchausen. I don't remember the actual name of the actual trilogy, the unofficial name, but it's often considered part of that. But the film itself is interesting. So the film itself is notorious in Hollywood for being a very tough production. Like, this movie went through so much crazy behind-the-scenes chaos when they were trying to get it made. Terry Gilliam is on record saying that there was so much problems when they were filming, because they filmed primarily in Spain, and I believe in Malta, and a couple other like European countries is where they filmed. But as they were filming, they ran into so many problems. For one, there was a regime change at Columbia Pictures, now part of Sony. There was that, and so they cut the budget for the movie. The movie also ran into unique technical issues when it came to costumes. If you hear Terry Gilliam talk about it, there was an incident where they couldn't film somewhere, so they had to ship the costumes back to I believe it was Spain, and then Spain charged him, or shipped him away from Spain. And Spain actually charged him an additional fee to send them back. It was actually more than it cost to ship them in, and it was just back and forth chaos. The movie sadly bombed in the box office. I believe it didn't even make back its budget, but ultimately the movie has garnered a cult status. Now, as I said earlier, the film features an amazing cast of characters. So I'm not going to go into all the details, but I want to highlight a few standouts, and that's one, the star, John Neville. Now, most modern audiences would probably know John Neville from his work on The X-Files as the well-manicured man. Also, he's been in Hollywood. He had been in Hollywood for decades. He's a legendary actor. So he actually started as Baron Munchausen. You have Uma Thurman in one of her earliest roles as Venus, and as one of the 3 women in the theater group at the start of the film. You also have Jonathan Pryce. Many modern audiences will primarily know him from The Crown or Game of Thrones. But he's another really fantastic addition to the cast. And finally, I can't say enough about Sarah Polley. This was one of her earliest roles, and she is fantastic as Sally. Pretty much the audience's POV character into the story, into the world. The film does a great job of depicting her being like the voice of reason, even though in this fantasy setting. She does a great job. She truly has fun playing the character, and she is constantly countering the Baron's insane claims. So, also, the film features some great set pieces, some great story structure. One of the best scenes is early in the movie, one of the funniest scenes.
Gentlemen, don't you think it would be a good idea to silence those enemy cannons?
No, sir.
No?
It's Wednesday.
Oh, my Wednesday. Ah! Yeah. Yep. Ah!
So, what more can I say about this film? Well, first of all, the film is great fun. It is a lot of fun to sit and watch. It is, at its very core, a true fantasy story. Now, earlier I said this is loosely based on a real person. Actually, I was wrong in that. It's actually based on a series of folk tales involving the character of the Baron Munchausen. The film itself, like I said, chaos all over the place, which is sadly standard with a lot of the films that Terry Gilliam produced and directed. However, that being said, the film is great fun. Also, keep an eye out for a couple really cool cameos. For instance, Sting has a cameo in the film. I'm not going to tell you who he plays. You have to keep your eyes open. I'm talking about the musician, not the wrestler. Excuse me. Also, Robin Williams has a cameo in this as well. Now, for all its craziness, all the drama behind the production, it really also shows a counter to the idea of strictly going by reason. That we have to have in our hearts part of us that will look at the dream of life, the fantasy, the not traditional way of thinking. This film is a exploration of the creativity of the human spirit. That is the core of this film and other Terry Gilliam films such as Time Bandits and Brazil. Now, with that being said, what else can I say? And I'm just going to leave it at this. This film is fun. This film is a lot of fun, and it may not seem like it on its surface, but it is. The special effects are really well done, and it is not over saturated with stuff that doesn't work. And it, like I said, it is a lot of fun. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, come back, watch more videos for us. And like I said earlier, please like and subscribe. And tell me in the comments below, have you seen this movie? And if you have, did you enjoy it? Because at the end of the day, that is what is important, if the movie is enjoyable. So, thank you for watching again, and feel free to like and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions, please reach out. I'd like to hear your suggestions of future movie reviews. With that being said, this is Joseph. You'll have a wonderful, wonderful day.